Good to be here. I look around and see all of the inspirations, the different thoughts from the different worlds, different people, all from their various worldview, different experiences, different struggles, different the lives they live, the things they encounter. And when we were singing the song, there's a verse in there that said, "Let your love light be in your eyes." Kind of touched me. Let your love light be in your eyes. So many times we meet people, see people. Maybe in a day you might see 100, if you're lucky, more. But I just thought, how many of those people would love to see that love light from our eyes? To be intentional about it each morning. Go to bed thinking about it. The beginnings of a new day should start with that love light in our eyes. How more beautiful this world would be. How more comforting this world would be. So this kind of touched me, because sometimes I get up in the morning and all I can think about is paperwork. My proposals, my deadlines, my reports, the supervisory responsibilities. And I completely forget my own intentional being in this world. The day you were born, you were given a gift, the gift of life. Your birthday gift. What a beautiful way to think of our birthdays. I have one coming up this month. I'm a Virgo, so very proud of it. And when I was thinking of talking about the beginning, the foundation of the Christian teaching is how Creator created the world. Just in thought, just by saying. It's not the beginning of Creator. Creator has always been. And so life began. Creator brought us into this world and everything in this world. And when I think about that, it brings me back to our Danette teaching. The creation story talks about that. In that this world was thought into being. The earth, the universe, the stars, us, and all living creatures. And we flippantly say sometimes, oh, we're interconnected. Everything is connected. But how are we connected? We're connected by spirit. And so our traditional teacher sometimes loves to talk about his teachings. And last week he was talking about the male and female part of creation. And the equality of male and female. from the traditional teachings. And he talked about the separation in the traditional creation story when there was a big separation of men and women to prove that one could sustain life by themselves. And so they separated. Men lived over here, women lived here. There's a big old river in between. And things started happening. There was no procreation. The desires of human beings couldn't be met. So what were the people supposed to do? And so there was this person who was both male and female. That person came to explain to both groups. They needed one another in order to live. He said, you are going to all vanish from the face of this earth. When Creator brought us into this world to be the spokesperson, to be the person who communicated, the person who thought, the person who planned, the person who lived, the person who followed the cycle of life. What you're doing here, you're breaking that cycle of life. And so you have to come back together. Neither is superior to the other. You are equal. Equal. And so finally, the men and the women came back together. New beginnings, the beginnings of everything, requires female and male. Everything for it to live. And so our creation story restarts at that point. And he also talked about the sacred winds that we have, that we breathe every day. He says from the east is male. Male wind comes from the east. And it goes into the western part. The west wind is female. And they come together. The southern winds, female, meets with the northern wind, which is male. Everything, he said, is male and female. And so it encompasses us. And we even know that people say, oh, we have, like you have some male whatever, and men, you have part female stuff, you know. So I think this kind of explains it, that everything is male and female, even the wind. And I was just sitting there looking at it. I said, okay, because I hadn't really thought about the winds. And he says, and we're right in the middle. It encompasses us, the sacred winds, the four winds. And then there's Mother Earth and there's Father Sky. Without the two, the female and the male, life could not continue. And we are the product of all of this creation. We're right in the middle. And he says, that's why I say there are 6 directions. The 4 winds, Mother Earth, Father Sky, 6. The middle part makes it 7, and that's us. He says, people talk about the 4 directions all the time. He says, that's not so. If you just talk about the 4, it's the 4 directions. You leave the others out. So that was a big understanding for me, because sometimes we go to workshops and they talk about the 4 directions. Each of the directions have a teaching, and they have gems, and they have all kinds of teachings. And so I said, well, how do you apply things from the east, from the south, the west, and the north? How do you apply all those teachings? I said, I missed that part where it comes to me as an individual of creation. So when he explained the winds, and he explained Mother Earth and Father Sky, we are in the middle. And so everything around us comes back to us. So that was an eye-opening for me, and I'm thinking, oh, okay. The verse from Genesis, in the beginning, Creator created the heavens and the earth. And it's so Navajo creation story. I'm thinking, okay. And then all of the things are created, the waters, the land, the animals, and most important, the male and the female. So Creator has in his mind, everything is male and female for us to live. And so from this we have our new beginnings. New beginnings every day. Beginnings, when we talk about beginnings, there seems to be an end to each beginning. Our birthday gift has an ending. I don't like to think about that. I'm sure you don't either. But I look at my grandbaby, she's 4 years old. She has the most beautiful eyes. It's so clear. And she'll look at me and she'll say, Grandma, sweetie pie, why is this? Grandma, sweetie pie, I like you better than my Grandma Tina. And when we travel with her, we're eating in a restaurant, she'll tell the waitress, this is my Grandma sweetie pie. She is so sweet, but I love to look into her eyes. That love light. So clear, so innocent. New beginnings, a beginning of life. Can we ever recapture that? I think we can. I think we can go into this world with those beautiful eyes. No agendas, just that love, Creator's love. Look into someone's eyes. Say, how are you? How's your day? I love your beautiful music. I've always wanted to play piano. I tried, my sons are all musically inclined, I guess. And I told my youngest one, I said, in college, I want you to take piano. He plays the guitar and other things. He says, Mom, that is your desire. You go do it. If you want to play piano, Mom, just go do it. You know? But I wish I knew how. I wish I could. And I think and I told him, I said, the reason I tell you that is when you're struggling, when you're alone, You can compose, you can play music, ones you love. You can play for yourself. Yourself. Not so much to people, but that's the way I see piano. Is to know it, to play it to yourself, to soothe yourself, give yourself hope, to give yourself encouragement. So I love piano, this one, and people, gifted musicians. So we appreciate you very, very much. I do. So my grandchild, I think about her. And I'm thinking, I hope and pray. I pray that I'll see her turn 20. Because I'm in mid-70s and she's 4 years old. And it really brings a reality to me that I may never see her have a family. You know, and it's my beginning, and I'm thinking about my ending. But in this time, as I'm watching my little grandbaby, Minnie, she's precious. And one time she asked why we didn't visit her in Albuquerque a lot. And I said, sweetie pie, I go, when I drive, I get tired. And then Papa has to drive, so he moves over and he drives. He gets sleepy, so then I have to take over. So we do that all the way. See, I'm trying to explain the situation. And she says, you mean you switch drivers all the way over? Here I am trying to explain how we switch, you know. I didn't want to say switch because I didn't think she understood that word. 4 years old. She looked at me, you mean you switch? I just laughed and I just grabbed her and hugged her. I said, I was trying to explain that word to you, you know. But she just makes me laugh and I truly just enjoy her. So the beginnings are wonderful. Beginnings, every day is a beginning. If we could just walk into the world and say, this is a beginning. Let my love light show through my eyes. There are many, many people, suicide, opioid, you name it. Maybe just that look, that love passed through your eyes. You can touch people. And so Creator is with us. Creator blesses us each day. And I just want to say thank you. May the peace of Creator rest upon you. May Creator's peace abide with you. May Creator's presence illuminate your heart and your eyes, now and forevermore. Amen.